Now that we're done with our back taper, we can move on to the side line and we can debulk as much as possible here. Especially at an angle, you want to make sure you give them that shape and flare. So it's probably like at a 45-degree angle. I'm also sculpting it as much as possible with my clippers before I move on to my trimmers. Now that we are moving on to our trimmers, we're starting off at the bottom and working our way to the top arch with our Baby Lift Gold FX. Make sure you take your time here and make sure that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then you won't line it up properly. Now that we're done lining them up, we can move on to our side taper and start off by making our first guideline and balding off his whole sideburns. Now that we're done balding him out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. As you can see, we're slightly closing the lever midway and all the way closed, and then we're going to move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use this same guard and the lever to soften up the line and get ready for our half guard. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and we can create our fourth guideline. As you can see, we're following that same curve shape. Now we're using our 3 guard all the way open and we're creating our 5th guideline. We're going to flick out as much as possible and use our comb to feed the hair into the clipper, especially when we're using our corners. We're also going to lighten it up just a little bit with our clipper of a comb. Here I'm detailing with my trimmers as much as possible, making sure it makes more sense and is connected. Now that we're done detailing, we're moving on to our C-cups and we're starting off at the bottom and working our way to the top arch using the corners of our gold FX. Always make sure you don't press too hard and that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. Here I'm detailing as much as possible with my no guard all the way open. Now we're using using our shave stick and our foil saver to remove all the stubble. Now that we're done detailing, we can move on to our top, and we're going to saturate the hair as much as possible before we move on to our shear work. This is so we can get the true length of the hair follicle. You always want to make sure the hair is nice and damped and combed in place. Now that we're done saturating the hair and combing everything in place, we can move on to the top and make our first guideline through the top of the capitus. Make sure you stay as consistent as possible and you also connect it to the sides. As you can see, we're moving on to the sides and back area. Now I'm starting to connect the top guideline to the sides on the right side. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you made it this far into the video, leave a comment down below of my subscriber count. I'm 100% going to reply to your guys' comments, so make sure you do. Now that we're done with our shear work, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades, and we're going to make them as crispy as possible. Before we use our Turkish razor, we're going to make sure we apply shave gel to the skin. This is so our razor can glide better. When you're using a razor, you want to make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand, and also keep the blade at a 45-degree angle. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone.